How's it going, my truant people? Dr. Slacking, the Slacking Doctor, back on Pokemon Showdown for week 8, I believe it is now, of the ABC. So only 3 weeks left after this one. Going into this game, our record is technically 4-3. So this game will either bring us to even record or would keep us going positive. We're going up against Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is one of my best friends in the community, our teammate in Owl. If you guys haven't already checked out Aquarius' channel, then please go over there, check out Aquarius' channel. They upload draft league content as well, including Owl and ABC, so 2 leagues that I upload, which is really cool. Aquarius is someone that I've kind of helped bring into our community, and just because I think they're a super good battler and a really nice person and a really good friend, and I just like to see these people be given opportunities to play Pokemon. That's what we're all here to do, right? So yeah, shout out to Aquarius, and also a really good content creator, it turns out. So who knew? Didn't know that, but really good content creator. Aquarius is currently sitting at, this is week 8. Aquarius is currently sitting at 7-0. Won every game in the ABC, topping the Slacking Conference, terrifying me, but definitely an amazing battler. As I said, one of my teammates in Owl, so someone that I build with and help them build, so like we know each other's building styles and playing styles really well at this point, which always makes these games super interesting. As you can see, Aquarius' team is the Porygon Z, the Garchomp, the Greninja, the Electivire, the Araquanid, and the Moltres. Also, things that you don't see that I prepped for is like a Mega Diancie, a Bronzong, and what else did I prep for? The Decidueye, maybe? I don't really remember. But this is the team that Aquarius brought. I brought Mega Lopunny. This is a Power Up Punch substitute set. We've brought a Togekiss. This is a Scarf. I think this is a Scarf Togekiss. We've brought a Slowbro, which is AV Max Spadef. We've brought a Max Fizdef Amoonguss. We've brought a Rocks, Defog, and Empoleon. That's what I've been doing all season. I've been really unimaginative in my Empoleon sets. I'm sorry, Nico. I've named it after you, and then I've been boring. Just brought Rocks and Defog every week because this draft lacked good Rock and Defoggers, Rock setters and Defoggers. And then I believe this is also Scarf Hydreigon. I think we've got double Scarf in this game. So we really just got 2 offensive Mons, 1 utility Mon, and then 3 fast offensive Mons. So yeah, kind of not really a balanced team, one extreme and then the other extreme. But this Slowbro set is pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. It's Max Spadef AV with Scald, Psyshock, Drain Punch, and Signal Beam. Because it just lives forever from everything and takes hits from everything and kills everything. It's just a really good set. I really like it. Big fan. So, let's go into this game. I decided to live with the Lopunny, and I do expect Aquarius to lead with the Garchomp. Now, Aquarius has been running Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, Endure Garchomp. I think that's what this is. I do not care. I do not care at all. I just want to go and take this Garchomp out early game so that it can't potentially revenge kill my Hydreigon, and I don't have to switch into it too much later game, because if it's an offensive Hydreigon, offensive Garchomp in any way, then it's going to be a problem. But knowing that Aquarius knows that I know that they tend to run Rocky Helmet and Ruskin, I'm just going to go for a sub. I'm just going to pop up a sub because I think the Aquarius is going to click Rocks here. This is the only Rock setter on the team, so I think it's going to want to go for Rocks before it does anything else. And it does. So I'm like, hey, I'm behind a sub now. And I'm just going to go for the Power Up Punch because I think if it's got Endure, it's going to click Endure this turn, fearing a potential Ice Punch. And we do see Rocky Helmet, we do see Rough Skin, just goes for an Earthquake, and I'm like, okay, I don't think this thing has got Endure, so I'm just going to spam Return now, because I still think it's scared of the Ice Punch. And indeed go out into Moltres. Now here I make a misplay. We go into Moltres, and I see that this thing is fat. This I think we got a super low roll from what I've seen of Aquarius' video, because this was showing me that this was like really bulky. And I was like, really? Is this like no bulk Scarf? Because Aquarius said that they forgot about the +1 and brought in the Moltres, which is fair enough. But nevertheless, Aquarius is too good to lose something this early. I'm like, there's no way in hell this is not Scarf. But my fear is if it clicks Hurricane on the Scarf and I go into Slowbro, Slowbro is a really important win con and a really important check to things like the Greninja and the Porygon Z. So I really don't want Slowbro getting worn down, and a Hurricane is going to do like a chunk, a decent chunk. I believe Moltres might be Z, and if it's a Z Solar Beam set, then I just got. And Pamela, as far as I can see, has put like a little chunk on Garchomp, but it's going to get checked hard by the Garchomp once we come back in our rocks. We have to take Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin damage. And I'm just like, I'm not going to overpredict. I'm not going to overpredict early. I'm just going to click return. It is Scarf. It is really Fire Blast. The other thing was if it clicked Hurricane or Fire Blast, we had a chance to miss. But, you know, that's fine. I'm like, okay, this thing's Scarf. It gives me my Hydreigon for free. And that's really, really nice because I'm not running Draco on this thing. I'm running Dragon Pulse. So I can really stay in and just spam Dragon Pulse against a lot of Aquarius' team. Or we get to find out some sets here. So I just click Dragon Pulse and we get a crit and do 50. This thing is fat as hell. And I'm like, okay, this is a fat Arachnid. Not keen. So we're going to go out into Amoonguss because Amoonguss is Fizz Def and we can take like anything from this thing. Goes for a Leech Life. It does 20%. And we're like, that's cool. That's cool. Here we go for the Giga Drain because I don't really know what's going to happen here. I don't think I want to pop. No, we double out. We double out into Hydreigon because I expect the... I expect the Electivire to come in. This is screaming Vital Spirit Electivire to me. I'm pretty sure it's the Spore switching. So I'm like, okay, we'll just go Hydreigon. That's fine. As Daddy, the Arachnid, goes for the substitute. And I'm like, oh, crap. Crap. Can't stay in. Gonna get bodied. So we go out to Nico. We're gonna be able to eat this Leech Life because this should definitely be a Leech Life. And just 14%. We're like, okay, well, you know, we're gonna get Rocks off. That's important. Or we're gonna get Rocks up. I don't know. Which one did we go for? We'll go for the Defog. I'm gonna Defog into Rocks because I can take any 2 hits from this thing. That's why Liquidation does like nothing. I'm like, okay, if this is like sub toxic maybe, Liquidation, Leech Life. So we're just gonna get our Rocks up. Fires off another Liquidation, and I'm like, that's fine. Don't really mind. Nico's done his job. It defogged when he got Rocks up on your side of the field, which now means the Moltres is dead, which means your Scarfer is dead, and that's really, really important because I think it's the only Scarfer on Aquarius' team. So I'm like, okay. Goes for another substitute here, thinking that I can take out a substitute with the Scold, but I don't want to do that. I want to bring in the Amoonguss. So Strumpful here can just sit and Giga Drain up against Daddy. Yes, Strumpful, you Giga Drain your Daddy. I don't even know what happened to this video. So here we're going to expect the Spore and we're going to double out, knowing that this thing should come in. And we're going to click Protect so that we can scout what this thing is going to lock into. It locks into the Ice Punch, and I'm like, oh, this is a physical set. Okay, Among Us will just ward this thing to hell as well. We get the Regenerator back, and that's pretty nice. That's pretty decent. Ice Punch is doing like 39%. Not really going to do a lot. We Giga Drain, we get some of it back, and we're just going to wear this thing down, and that's really important. I want to get this Electivire worn down, because it is a potential check to my... oh, so we're not Scarf Togekiss, actually. I got that wrong at the team preview. It's a potential... It's not really a potential check to anything. I don't know why I want to wear it down. I just want to wear it down. There's no reason not to. Goes into Garchomp here, and I'm like, okay, I'm fully Fizz Def. Amoonguss, I'm going to take anything from this thing. And you're definitely not going to go back out into Electivire. You're going to go for Rocks, so I'm going to Spore you, and I'm going to put you to sleep. And now this Garchomp is not a problem because it scares me. Garchomp scares me a lot. So, Strumpful put Garchomp to sleep. Very, very nice. As Aquarius just decides to sack the Moltres. Makes a lot of sense, and I'm like, okay, now I no longer care about Rocks. Like, I wanted Rocks up just to stop your Scarfer coming back in. I have achieved that, but Arachnid is also going to take huge damage. We go out into the Hydreigon. Aquarius knows this gives the Arachnid a free substitute again. But really intelligently here goes for Liquidation, fishing for the defense drop, and gets the defense drop, which sucks. Really, really sucks. But we can still kind of play around a little bit. I think that the substitute is coming out here, so I'm just going to go for the Giga Drain. I'm not going to allow that, because it looks like I should switch because I've got the defense drop. But with the Black Sludge damage, Black Sludge recovery we'll get this turn. It's okay, I don't mind. We're just going to go for the Protect here. Why did I go Protect here? Oh, try and get more Black Sludge, that's why. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on as well. And we see Spiderweb, so this is actually a trapping set. So I'm like, damn, we're not going to let you trap me. Because, I was curious about that fourth move, and that's when it was popped, and we got to see what it was. So we're just going to sack Nico here for Liquidation. That's fine. I don't really care if the Rocks are up on my side of the field too much. So I'm like, yeah, that's alright. I would have liked to have got them down potentially, but I don't mind too much. And we're just going to go for Dazzling Gleam because we guarantee to break the sub here. And I don't want to give a free switch into anything else, especially this Greninja. So here I'm like, okay, it looks like we're going to go for an Air Slash. Electivire makes a lot of sense. Let me just pop another Dazzling Gleam because I don't think that this Arachnid stays in because you've got the chance of the flinch and everything else. I don't think you risk it, so I'm just going to fire up another Dazzling Gleam. At the very least, we're going to get big damage on the Arachnid, but we do get a little bit of damage off on the Electivire. Really, really nice. Electivire is slowly getting worn down. We can go for a Protect here. See what Electivire wants to go for. It wants to go for a Volt Switch. And I'm like, I think that I would take a Volt Switch from this range. So I just decided to stay in, thinking that I'd probably go for the Ice Punch, predicting the Amoonguss anyway. And I get to fire off a Wish here. I'll go for Protect. Maybe I wouldn't have the Volt Switch. I think I was just expecting them to want to... expecting the Aquarius to want to click that Ice Punch for the Amoonguss after I'd scouted with the Protect. And we get to Wish back up. And this is where I'm like, okay, I can take even a Volt Switch from this range or a Thunder Punch. So we're just going to fire off a Dazzling Gleam and kill this Electivire. Yes, it puts my Togekiss really low, but I've got rid of a potential breaker for Slowbro, which Aquarius crucially hasn't seen my Slowbro set yet. And I'm starting to look at this and I'm like, okay, this thing's asleep and dies to an Ice Beam or a Scold. I don't remember which one I was running. This thing dies to a Signal Beam and we can take any hit from it. I need to get a Rapid a little bit lower. That's probably the last check. And Porygon Z doesn't want to take a Drain Punch. So, as weird as that sounds, I think Drain Punch probably 2-hit KOs. I'm not sure. But we can recover a lot of health back on it as well. So I'm starting to feel pretty good about Slowbro in this game, as well as my Scarf Hydreigon. So the Ice Beam comes out, and I'm like, that's fine, because that gives me, I think I just go hard Hydreigon here. That gives me Hydreigon to fire off a Dragon Pulse. And here I really want to click the Dark Pulse and lock into it, but we go for the Dragon Pulse because if the Greninja for some reason stays in and clicks Ice Beam, we're screwed a little bit. So we just go for the Dragon Pulse. Dark Pulse would have been nice just because of flinch chances, essentially. Because what Aquarius does here is goes into Porygon Z, and I'm like, okay, this is a setup variant. This is definitely at least an Agility, maybe Nasty Plot. So we fire off a Dragon Pulse, and we put this thing so low, and then the Agility pops, and I'm like, this is where the game gets really, really tricky for both of us, because I don't know this Porygon Z set. It potentially has a Z move as well, and potentially has a Nasty Plot. It's potentially a Double Dance set. If this thing gets a Nasty Plot off, it just wins. Tri-Attack kills everything, or Thunderbolt kills the Slowbro. So I'm like, I just can't allow this thing to ever, in any circumstances, get a Nasty Plot. But if it doesn't have Nasty Plot, then I should really, really save my Hydreigon. But I don't know. I just don't know what that fourth move is. I know it's going to be... I'm pretty sure it's T-Bolt for the Slowbro. And I'm pretty sure it's Tri-Attack. Because you always run Tri-Attack on Porygon Z. Its adaptability is incredible. So, I'm just in a really tough position here. And the way I see it, if I have to sack Hydreigon, I can still win with Slowbro in the back. In fact, a combination of my regen mons beat these three if played correctly. So I'm like, okay, do you know what? We're going to let Hydreigon go down just to make sure there is no Nasty Plot here. The Tri-Attack comes out, and I'm like, fine, that's cool. Now, if it's an Electrium Z set, Slowbro dies, I believe. And Amoonguss wouldn't. If it's a Normalium Z set, Amoonguss dies, and I think Slowbro doesn't. So I'm in a really, really tricky position where I need to scout which Z move this thing has, but I'm pretty sure it's Z move. So we go into Amoonguss thinking that it's potentially Electrium Z. Now, here again, Aquarius knows I have Protect, and I know I have Protect. If I Protect here on the Z move, I can potentially pivot around with the regen and win the game. If I Protect here and Nasty Plot is clicked, I just lose the game 100% of the time. If this thing is Electrium Z, it cannot kill me. It cannot kill Strumpful. So I'm in a really, really weird position where Protect beats one option, Normalium Z. Attacking beats the other two options, no Normalium Z, Electrium Z, or a Nasty Plot. So the way I see it is I have to just play the 2 out of 3 chance and attack. I can't risk going for the Protect. And this is Normalium Z. And I'm like, damn, we can still win. Crit doesn't matter, it kills anyway. We can still win with Slowbro here. Because there's no way in hell Aquarius knows that this is AV Slowbro. So it does Thunderbolt, does 32%, and I'm just going to Drain Punch that back. And I'm like, boom! Beautiful. Now Aquarius goes out into the Greninja. And the only way Aquarius wins here is U-Turn plus Dark Pulse. So, I don't know if we hover over, will it show the set? I don't think. So we've seen Split is what we're looking for. Let's just go straight up with the Control F Split in the chat. You guys can't see me scrolling in the chat. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want to to be accurate with what I'm saying, and I don't believe at this point. So we've seen Ice Beam from Split, and that is all. So at this point, I'm like, okay, we know it's got Ice Beam. Almost definitely has Water Shuriken to try and handle Scolipede, Speed Boost Scolipede. So almost certainly has Water Shuriken, has Ice Beam. If it has like Poison or Gunk Shot or any kind of coverage on here, or Spikes or T-Spikes, that means it can't have Dark Pulse plus U-Turn. And if it doesn't have Dark Pulse and U-Turn, or sorry, if it doesn't have U-Turn, we win. Like, we win here if it doesn't have U-Turn. We haven't seen U-Turn. We're just praying this isn't U-Turn. I think maybe double U-Turn kills, so maybe it doesn't need Dark Pulse as well. But nevertheless, I'm just like, okay, we just, let's hope for no U-Turn. We have to click Signal Beam here, because if we click Drain Punch and Aquarius just hard switches into the guard shot, I'm going to take Rock Splash Rough Skin damage, and that's terrible. I don't think Aquarius is going to do that, but we have already shown the Drain Punch last turn against the Porygon Z, so I'm like, we just have to click Signal Beam here. And Aquarius pops off the U-Turn, does 28%, so no, U-Turn does not kill on its own. So I'm like, okay, the U-Turn's there. We fire off a Signal Beam into Hydreigon, and that's the other reason that we couldn't click Drain Punch, because I count this in the game, of course, was that U-Turn didn't kill, but with the Rough Skin Rocky Helmet damage, U-Turn had a chance to kill, I think. So we have to fire off Signal Beam. And we're like, okay, this isn't really an issue. We have the Ice Beam, so we're just going to handle that. I wish we had Recovery at this point, but we don't. And now Aquarius can go back into Greninja and click Dark Pulse. Now, if Aquarius has Dark Pulse, this kills. If Aquarius doesn't have Dark Pulse, U-Turn's the best thing they can hit us with, then we win the game here with a Drain Punch or Signal Beam. Either way, it doesn't really matter. And fortunately, this Greninja is packing the Dark Pulse. So, ultimately, I very much could have won that endgame had I brought in Slowbro on the Porygon Z. Had I protected on the Porygon Z, had I saved Hydreigon on the Porygon Z. The way I played around the Porygon Z lost me the game, but that is because Aquarius brought really good sets. Aquarius brought these sets that won this endgame, and I had to play to those outs. I had to play that there was Nasty Plot there, because otherwise I just lost. You can't... In my opinion, the way I will always stand by, you have to play Pokemon to the way that doesn't give you a 100% loss. Nasty Plot gave me a 100% loss, so I had to play to avoid that, because if you just take the chance on something that 100% loses you the game, you're not playing that well, in my opinion. So I had to play the odds. That's what I think. Yes, I could have won it if I'd played more risky. It just wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth it. So GG to Aquarius. I really don't think I deserved the win. I don't think I played the early game that well anyway. And I didn't really mind the shenanigans with the Araquanid getting behind a sub and stuff, even though it looked bad because it put me on the back foot. Actually, it didn't do too much to me. I was able just to pivot around, get my rocks up, and things like that. So it was okay. I feel like I played mediocre for the first half of this game. I really should have saved the Lopunny with hindsight, although it was always checked by the Garchomp, so it is what it is. But Aquarius is now 8-0 in the league, so congratulations. Really, really well deserved. Really, really well deserved, in fact. And we have 3 games left. We are 4-4. I think we have 3 games left. Yeah, 3 games left. We are 4-4. We play Eevee, who is 4-3. Has yet to play his Week 8 game and is directly below me in the league. And we play Sean, who is 4-3, who has yet to play his game. Those two play each other, crucially, and is right below me in the league. So we play 2 direct rivals for playoff spots. And we play Blue Phoenix, my boy the Blue Phoenix, in fact, my oldest friend in the Pokemon community outside of Draft. I knew him before anyone, so always look forward to playing him. So we really, really have to win at least 2 out of those 3 games. We need to beat either Phoenix plus one of my close rivals, or we need to beat both of my close rivals and then potentially lose to Phoenix. But we really need to win 2 out of the last 3, and if we do that, if we manage to go 6-4, we should make playoffs. We should make playoffs because our differential is really, really good. Only losing this game 1-0 helped with that as well. So hopefully next week, when we play Eevee, I believe next week, hopefully we can bounce back and get a win there. And then the week after, if we play Sean, I think, I don't even know. But anyway, hopefully we can pick up some wins in the next few games, and hopefully we can make that last push for playoffs and replay Aquarius in playoffs, and who knows, maybe pick up a W. Who knows? So, fingers crossed for that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this now because I'm rambling on, which I tend to do. Thank you so much for loafing around with me, and I'll catch you again next time.